All right, so this is figured out with Stephen and Faya. This is episode 24, and we're going to start off by talking about George Papadopoulos. Should he do 30 days in jail or not? Here's what he's guilty of. He lied to the FBI.
Woo!
He was a part of the Trump administration when apparently they were working or colluding with the Russians to get into office, and George Papadopoulos lied about it apparently, and now he's facing charges of up to 6 months in jail for it.
He's also guilty of having an overly Greek name.
For sure. Now, here's my thing. I mean, he sounds like the scapegoat to me. It's like, hey, we'll just blame Georgie for this shit, and we'll pretend like none of the other stuff ever happened. We'll let him take the fall. He'll do a month in jail, maybe 6 months. Who knows? But no big deal. You know, he'll do the jail time, and then we'll just pretend like none of this other Russian shit ever happened.
Yo, he's 100% the scapegoat. The moment
it looks pretty obvious, doesn't it? Like,
yeah,
we'll just blame George Papadopoulos for this shit, and then we'll sweep the rest of it under the rug.
Yeah, I mean, just even if you look at how Trump was like talking so charmingly of him, to then once he took the hit, is like, oh, that low level like person of the campaign. It's like, all right, even if he was low level person of the campaign, like he's still on your campaign, nigga. Like, what you talking?
Right? Yeah, he's still on your team. Back him up.
Like, oh, like, dude, he ran. He was
funny how we build Trump up one week and then tear him down the next. You know.
But yeah, man. I mean, that's a foul move on Trump, man. That's on some Omarosa shit, you know, where she's all like sucking up to Trump, and then when they have fun, oh, like, yeah, he's just been a racist misogynist the whole time. Like, girl, you've been on his team the whole time. All of a sudden, right. When y'all ain't get along no more, all of a sudden, yeah, he was this misogynist for all these years that you backed him. You know,
hey, that's politics, man. That's the way it goes. Cut the throat. George Papadopoulos just got his throat cut. He's done.
Yeah, man, it's like a bad episode of that show with that freaking dude.
Oh, House of Cards?
Yeah.
with the pedophile?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name right now, but yeah.
That's so
how
weird,
fucked up do you have to be to take advantage of some kid who's trying to make it in the movie industry? You know?
His name already went into oblivion, dude. He used to be a good actor, then I don't know what happened.
Now nobody gives a shit about him because fuck that guy.
Yeah. Since that happened, have you watched any
House of Cards? No,
not House of Cards, or just anything that he's in.
No, as soon as I see that he's in it, I'm like, nope, can't watch it. I can't let that guy make money for after knowing what he's done. I can't contribute to his wealth after knowing what he's done. Does that make sense?
Well, I may or may not pirate everything that I watch anyway. So yeah.
I'm talking about, like, I won't watch it on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime. I won't watch it on TV. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna watch his shows. I'm not gonna let him make money. Yeah, if it's good enough, I'll download it. Maybe. But he's not gonna make money off of me. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even if I'm not the one paying for the Netflix or the Hulu or the Amazon.
We live in a weird time. I don't know what's going on.
Dude, stories like this are coming out all the time. Like, the 90s were a fucked up era. We had no idea.
I don't know, dude, but like, weren't things
Probably worse in the 80s.
Well, everyone was coked up on the 80s, so they didn't give a fuck, dude.
No, I know. Everybody was like, fuck it.
Yeah, it's just a nation of sociopaths. You gonna do this? Yeah, let's get this done.
I feel like that's I feel like that's what we're a product of. This whole not Generation X, but what are we? The millennials. Yeah, I feel like that's what we're a product of. Is the '80s, the people that were in their teens and 20s in the '80s. That's what the millennials are a product of now.
I'm 100% a crack baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. we're the product of that.
Yeah, millennials.
So now, as a crack baby, what do you think of this George Papadopoulos shit?
You know, man, more power to him. Cause like, no, hasn't it always been kind of like fuck the FBI? Like, I don't know why people are like people have gone like so batshit now that they're rooting for the people who like we've always been suspect of.
All right. Yeah,
But
don't trust the government. Don't trust the military. Don't trust the FBI.
Yeah. And now people are like cheerleading for them, and it's like, wait, no, haven't we always been like, hey, these are like, the people whose power's kind of been unchecked?
Well, isn't that part of what makes Donald Trump so fun to watch? Like, you want to root for him because he's like anti all that stuff.
Exactly. I was actually just talking with a friend of mine. I won't say her name because she's a politician. But of how like what people don't realize is like how the movement's been co-opted, because everyone's been screaming that we want this movement for the people and everything, and like it or not, Trump is that movement. He's the one going anti-establishment, full in effect.
That's what I've been saying.
and so do we agree with everything, all the stupid shit he says? No, of course not.
No.
But like the reason we're like all right with it is because he's doing the fight that everyone's been screaming that they wanted like for years and years now. Like,
right. Even if he fails, he brought light to the fact that there's problems with the system that we have going on right now. Yeah. And if anything, that's still a positive. Like, you can't take that away from him. Regardless of what he does in office, you cannot take that away from him.
He's challenging the media. He's been the freaking minority work for like the unemployment's at an all-time low. Right. He all the so-called pundits, he keeps proving them wrong every step of the way, who've always been like who wanted to take like they know better for us than like we do, and like say, oh, this is what people should do, like fuck those guys. He's taking it right to them. And does he do some foolish shit along the way? Yeah, but it's kind of funny.
He's a human being. I mean,
yeah,
he's not trying to hide the fact that he's a human being. He's not trying to be a robot like the rest of these politicians. He's actually making mistakes and then being like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah,
this is me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he needs Demi Lovato as like. I think that should be his theme song, dude. He's just like come out there. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Like,
right?
Yeah, dude.
Every speech he does, he comes out to that song, like his fight song or something.
How hardcore would that be? And he did the WWE shit back in the day. Like, right? Like, come on, like, that I think I need to call Mr. Trump. I've got a master idea for his branding.
Who's more American than Trump?
Loud, obnoxious, and
He
arrogant.
was a WWE announcer at one point. Who's more American than Trump?
Yeah, baby. USA.
He was out there at the NASCAR races.
No, because you know that too. That I've noticed, like, the people who are pro Trump, like, it's kind of just like the assumptions of how people like go, like the people who are against Trump, like if you're for Trump, like they actually like they need to assume that like you're an evil person, like that's why you disagree. But like the pro Trump people are just like, you know, that person's a knucklehead.
They'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah. Oh, they'll get it eventually. They're just a knucklehead.
They're a little ignorant right now. They'll get it.
Yeah, but the people who are anti-Trump, they're like, people who support Trump are just the, you know, what are they?
I always, every time people talk shit about Trump, I always try to imagine where we would be right now if Hillary had been elected. Terrifying, right?
Right?
Or it'd be a World War III right now or something.
100%.
But this George Papadopoulos guy, that was the whole point of this.
Yeah.
Does he deserve to go to jail for 30 days for lying to the FBI? Was he coerced into lying to the FBI? We don't know.
Well, here's the thing, right?
He'll probably go to some like white collar jail, you know? Like he's not gonna do a hard time.
Because
he's not gonna get raped while he's in there or anything like that, you know. He'll be fine. Just give him the 30 days, and then
everybody gotta take their licks, man. Doesn't like I don't think
is he taking his licks or is he taking somebody else's licks?
Hey, that goes with the territory, man.
Right. And, that comes with that's part of the job description is you might have to be the fall guy.
Well, I mean, just not even just him, like people who aren't even on Trump's team, who just kind of loosely got associated with Trump, like even they're taking hits too, you know.
For sure.
That's just the thing. If you support Trump, you're gonna take it. But like, not even off that, like I just mean in life in general, everybody's got to take their licks. You know, whether they're due or undue, you know, at some point.
Well, you can't undo it. You're stuck with it. You're stuck with whatever decision you make, and what doesn't kill you makes you stronger and what not. But
maybe, or it makes you a stranger. But yeah, man. I don't think you should, because like as my homie Tim Holland once awesomely said, you know, only lie to cops, cameras, and crooks, right? And like I think the FBI fits within that realm of people who you should lie to.
For sure, yeah. Well, I mean, for all we know, he wasn't lying for anything bad. He was just scared for his own.
Yeah, right. Because like,
we don't know what he was lying for. He might have thought that he was fucked and he needed to lie to get out of the situation.
Yeah, well, like, because there's no like in all cases, like, right, like, so like morally lying is wrong. But if you lie for a good reason, right? If the Nazis come to your house and they're like, "Hey, where's the Jew at?" Then I'm gonna lie to him, right? That's a good lie. And so, yeah,
assuming the Nazis weren't right all along and they had the right idea all along, and we're all the ones that are stupid, you know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You're gonna get us like massively attacked on this show. we're gonna get
It was a joke. It was a joke.
You're gonna get us lost.
I already laughed at some woman dying in the last episode. I don't. But I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, America.
So what I was saying though is, if the FBI is not moral, right? Then is it immoral to lie to them?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, no, I'm totally on board with that. Like, yeah, lie to the FBI. Every chance you get, lie to the FBI. Hit them up on Facebook and lie to them right now.
I know. Like, I know they've been stalking my Facebook and Twitter for a while, but I mean, those are all lies. So,
Right. Yeah, call the FBI right now. Give them a false report.
Call the FBI. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, I don't feel like this guy should take the fall. I feel like everybody should be able to see that he's just a fall guy as a way to just, like I said, toss this under the rug, forget about it. Like, hey, we punished. Somebody got punished for it. All right, can we call it quits now? It's been 2 years.
Yeah, because it's like
can we just give him his 30 days? No, not even that. Like, you're blaming the wrong guy in the first place. Let him go. We don't know who to blame. And how do we even know that it was collusion? We all talked to the Russians anyways. Hillary was talking to the Russians. Donald Trump was talking to the Russians long before the elections even started.
Right? I'm talking to the Russians. Those are
how you know how are you gonna prove what's collusion and what isn't? You know, like, that would take some real deep digging. Just let it go.
I love the Russians.
Dude, every Russian I've met has been pretty cool.
They're pretty badass. They're good people.
They scare me a little bit, but they're pretty cool.
Man. I don't know. It's just you gotta up your gangster, man. Can you get on Putin's level?
Right. Speaking of scary, yeah, that fucker. If you're gonna fight with him, you better be ready to kill him, because he's not gonna quit.
Yeah, or get poisoned, or what?
But I feel like Trump's the better one to go up against Putin than Hillary. Like, I feel like Trump's not gonna take some shit from Putin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean he already proved it. Like, right?
Yeah. Let me just drop an IMDb on. No, I said that wrong. Mother of all bombs, MOAB.
Yeah, but I mean,
he just dropped MOAB on Syria just to show Putin how serious he was. You know what I mean?
No, but I mean, it won't even get to no like warship. But I'm just saying, as far as like policy wise,
they both know better. Recent history has showed us that we're not going to get anywhere by getting at each other's throats. So obviously, Putin's not going to pull some dumb shit, and I don't think Trump would either.
Yeah, I think it was called the Cold.
He's trying to make America money, not put them in a war.
I think it was called the Cold War because Russia's really cold, right?
I think it's called the Cold War because we didn't actually shoot each other. But
anyway.
But yeah. So your final thoughts on that? Should George Papadopoulos go to jail for any amount of time?
I mean, you know, I'm an anti-federalist, man. I gotta stand by my principles. George Papadopoulos was being a good American. I mean,
that's where I'm at with it. Leave the poor man alone. Look at his last name. Come on now.
Patriotic
you know he's got picked on enough. Just let him be.
I mean, yeah, and like, really, do you want to be the one to have to like persecute Papadopoulos? Like, how can you even convict him? You won't even be able to. It won't. Yeah, Fall Guys, politics. It's all stupid.
Right? So you got a fun one to talk about.
Yeah. Speaking of none of that, but all of that. The workday, as being an American, Americans work too damn much. And because Americans work too damn much is why Americans don't work enough. Because if we had, that's my proposal.
It's counterproductive. I agree.
Yeah, hear me out here. If we had less work hours, then people would be more efficient, and the work that they do, they'd give more full force to it. And
now we both researched this now, and we both got some good stuff on this, I'm sure. So where are you at with it? What is your ideal work week?
Somewhere along, like, looking at like the BYU studies and stuff, it looks like, you know, somewhere in that like 30-hour range.
All right.
To be the most efficient. Because if people work too much, you know, then they just work down to the bone, and they're not going to be as productive, you know, in the work that they do. And pretty much all the studies show that, you know, companies were far more efficient with their employees working less, except for like one that I saw in like France. But I mean, the French don't work anyway. So like,
if anything, these shorter work weeks came from France. I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's like, what was
it was like somewhere.
They weren't they were less efficient with working less hours. Well, but like, they were gonna work either way. Like, I know a France.
No, but like the idea of a 3-day weekend, I believe, came from Europe, Central Europe somewhere. That's kind of where some of the ideas came from. Was from having Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off instead of just Saturday and Sunday off. A lot of these European companies were giving people Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. And so then they started studying, hey, what happens if you give these employees shorter work weeks? You know, it doesn't make them more productive. But there's more than one style of working this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it gets interesting, because my favorite one was, and I believe we talked about this, was the idea of you get a checklist every day, and when you're done with your checklist, you can go home. Whether it's, you know, you work on a salary basically, and you make so much per month, but as long as you get your checklist done, then you're good for the day. As long as you get your checklist for the week done, you're good for the week, sort of thing. So like one day you might have 2 hours worth of work, you get it done, you go home. The next day you might have 7 hours worth of work, you know, on your checklist, you get it done, you go home. But you're not forced to do, you know, just random side jobs and whatnot that aren't necessary just to fill in your other hours where you don't have shit to do. You're actually just being productive the whole time.
And according to one study I was looking at, and in a lot of people's downtime anyways, they just used like it was like they worked like actual work was only a few hours, and then the rest of the time people be like looking for other jobs, and it put parentheses. It was like probably to carry out the same work habits, and it's like looking at news articles, socializing. It's
and a lot of these companies give these people busy work to fill in the rest of their 40-hour weeks. You know,
so that's why
it's not actually necessary, and it's demeaning to the employee.
Then they're just bored, not working, and then that drives down their work ethic even.
It's like they already know this is pointless, so why take it seriously?
And it's a good thing that we're talking about, because I mean, like, I feel like work ethic has really went down over the years.
Oh yeah,
even from like when, you know, like I was in, you know, primary school. I just remember like it was taught like, yeah, you know, you bust your fucking ass and that's how you get ahead. then everybody's like, no, I'll just meet someone famous, and then they'll make me famous. Like,
so many famous people.
But I mean, also part of that might just be also that I've lived in California most of my life, and
I know you're right next to famous people.
Well, no, Californians are just probably like the laziest of the country. But
that could be.
Yeah,
I worked super easy jobs. I worked like loss prevention. I hear people complaining all the time about the shit they have to put up with. It's like, no, this job's easy. This is cake. I worked at a casino where all I had to do was make sure nobody was cheating. And I'd hear people complain. It's like, no, this job is easy. It's cake. And you're getting paid above minimum wage at both of those jobs. And people are still finding something to complain about. Like, shut the fuck up. You're in here in air conditioning. You're not busting your ass for anything. You don't have to do shit, really.
Yeah, this thing, like,
just show up. Is all you have to do is show up, and you're good.
A good portion of American jobs
too much work.
Yeah, and it's funny. Like they want like these like high minimum wages and shit. But, like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing anything. It's like you're not a fucking steel worker or like a farmer. You're not making this country go. So like,
these studies are for those people, the people that make this country go, not the ones that are doing the side jobs and whatnot. This is for like real office jobs, real corporations, jobs where you're really being you're really under a lot of stress. You know what I mean? And like for me, I can work 60 hours a week. I can work 60 hours a week doing what I'm doing because I'm not under a lot of stress.
I am all my work is commission based.
So you get what you put in. You get what you put in. Like me, I just gotta show up. That's it.
I'm a little envious of that, but then also like I like the challenge of it too, because that's the thing with those kinds of, I would just always get bored so easy, you know. Like,
yeah, and I do. But I'm working towards something else where I am like my goal is to have like a newer, like a relatively new car, if not a brand new car, where I can drive around wherever I want, driving for Uber and Lyft, just getting people rides and making money that way. Like I'll go on road trips for weeks. I'm looking forward to it. Man.
Yeah, and just like
I'll be doing podcasts in random towns. Like we'll be like you'll see me in a random town at a Starbucks or something doing a podcast, and I'll just call random people over and we'll have fun with it. You know, like that's what I'm looking forward to.
Fuck yeah,
that's my goal.
Hey, yeah, let's get on the road. Let's do some like road podcasts with this. You know, we'll go out, meet the people. Like, yeah, just set up at a Starbucks. Like, hey, gather around, folks. Like, who wants to get in on this pod? And like, we'll just have a little rant. We'll just have a little town rant with some folks, whoever's there.
I feel like people would enjoy that, and we get more viewers that way too.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. I'd just be down because it would be fun.
Right. Yeah. But
like
that's the main thing. I just want to go to random ass towns that like nobody's ever heard of, and just show up and be like, hey, what's going on? What's cool to do around here? You know?
I want to make Montana rock.
Right?
Yeah.
North Montana or South Montana? I'm just kidding. That's the Dakotas.
Out of those, definitely South Dakota. There's nothing in North Dakota.
Give up on Dakota.
Yeah, or in bugs. Oh my God, North Dakota has so many freaking bugs.
I wouldn't know.
It's annoying. No, but like,
that's my goal is to be able to do that. So my car is in the shop again. And after it gets fixed,
and for the viewers, they don't know.
Getting rid of it.
Steven's car is perpetually in the shop.
So I'm getting rid of it. It's not the one. It's not it.
It ain't it. You ain't it.
Sorry, boo boo.
That's why I told you. Sorry, boo boo, you ain't it.
But yeah, as far as the like,
that's why I tell people when they like ask me things. Nah, I don't answer them. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, as far as working though, like, what do you think is the best setup as far as like a work situation? Like, what kind of schedule would you expect to have in the ideal work situation? Assuming you had to go to work.
For me, probably like, it'd still probably be like 36, 40 hours, but like the difference, it would be shorter work days and 6 days. But you know what I mean? And then like
6 days a week, 1 day off, and shorter work days in between. So like talking like 6 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
All right.
But like then it would have. But if it's that, like that would be like for that would be like a career for me. That would be something that I'd want to be doing day in, day out kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like if it's like whatever, if I'm the freaking barista or something, then
Mm-hmm.
it'd be more like 4 or 5 days of the week, 5-6 hours, and then just because like because I don't know of any little kid that I've ever met who was like, I want to grow up and be the best barista that ever lived. There probably are, like, more power to them, not knocking it. But like, what I'm saying is that you probably, if you're a barista, you probably have other passions. And my main thing for this whole idea is just for people to not be so overworked with something that they really don't want to spend all of their life doing. Like maybe they enjoy their job a lot, and so like they want to be a barista for their whole life, but that's probably not the only thing they want to do with their life. So they should have a little bit more time to go and pursue their other goals and whatnot. And
for sure.
And their
I mean, part of the hard part, like
their hobby.
Like for me, working 2 jobs like that, where I'm working 30 hours a week, both jobs, it's like I'm doing that so I can save up money. But at the same time, like I said, I'm not super stressed out. I still got time to myself. I make it work. But in a higher stress sort of job situation, like say, I don't know, an accountant or something, where you gotta.
An accountant for who?
You got deadlines, you got stuff you got to get done. Sometimes you got to take your work home with you. You're working on a salary. It's like, what's good for them, And at what point are they done, or have they accomplished what their employers are asking of them?
But there's got to be, but those, again, that would be a different set career, because there's got to be those, high stress jobs too. Like, there hopefully could be a way to, alleviate some of that stress on it, because, stress is a killer, man. But, yeah, but, some way to where it could be more balanced. But, some of those salary jobs, though, it's just like, hey, you got to get that job done,
Well, that's where I feel like the whole checklist.
You
get your checklist done and you're good for the day if you're working on a salary. You know what I mean? Like, you're not supposed to be there for a certain amount of hours. You're just there until you get everything that needs to be done, and then you can go home.
But usually, a lot of those salary jobs, though, are like overseeing shit too. So sometimes, what if something comes up, that kind of thing. But it's like, I don't know. There's got to be, someone's got to be trained under you too, because to where, any of those extra hours, boom, it's handed off to the next guy, and they've got to be, just as competent.
All right, there's gonna be more than one person that's got to be able to do your job, for sure.
But I mean, certain specialty things there's not though. So I actually even met a guy recently, who where like he basically always has to be at his place because like he's overseeing all these like younger guys, and like he's just like the go-to guy. Like whenever there's anything, like they always like double check everything on him and like to ask a question of because he does construction like for all these different places, but they don't want to like move forward on something and then start like a whole construction part and it'd be the wrong thing that they're supposed to be building, right? So they kind of have to get the say so from him on everything they do. So like they're always but for him, like he's exhausted with it, because he's like, man, dude, I just want to chill, like, you know what I mean?
I knew a guy like that too. When I was working at a gas station in Fresno, we had this maintenance guy, and he had to take calls 24/7 to these 3 different gas stations. If anything went wrong, maintenance-wise, he had to be on call, ready to go 24/7 to go fix any of these problems. Yeah, he never got vacation really. Like it was just always had to be there. So
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine doing that.
Yeah, that's what this is. It's funny you say that because his team his boss like he owns like a bunch of the gas stations, and so like they're always like popping up new ones. Like he does the design on like the whole franchise, right? And he was saying that too, like how he really like can't take a day off, and like how he's like, oh, even last year I was like, yeah, I need a vacation, but like he can't go nowhere because like he's always got to be the guy there for everything. So
yeah, he would take like a day off and something would go wrong, and we're all just screwed. They wouldn't give much more than maybe a day here and there off, but yeah, if something went wrong, we're fucked.
what is a job besides like being a parent or something that you wouldn't mind, like, because like even like
being on call 24/7?
Yeah, that you can't take a day off.
I mean, it would need to make decent money. I don't know. I'd have to feel really important too. Like if I'm not there, just like with the maintenance guy, like if I'm not there, then shit goes bad. I need to feel that sort of importance, and I need to get
President Stoffer, CEO Stoffer.
That's right.
What's the business of?
I mean, most of my experiences.
What type of killer are you?
My experience is in the casino industry, so there'd probably be some involved with that.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. Like, it's a place people go to have fun. People go to party, So I enjoy that kind of atmosphere already. So I could be okay with managing a part of that.
Man, you live, Steven. You live, man. We gotta get you a casino, man. That's what
I know the games.
That's gonna be a venture right there.
Yeah, I don't have the capital for that.
You don't need the capital. You just need a real savvy business plan that's like the others, but just different enough that it sets you apart. And then you find the investors who see your vision.
I suppose. Yeah.
That's how you gotta do it, man. I mean, if you ain't got the capital, you gotta make the people with the capital see that vision.
Yep, for sure. For now, I'm gonna work on the whole Uber and Lyft car thing. I'll think about that stuff later. I'm looking forward to getting around the country and whatnot, like trying out different cities that I haven't been to before and stuff like that.
It's been a minute since I went cross country. I'd be 100% down for that. Like I said, I get my extra commissions coming in at the start of the year. So
yeah, get yourself an Uber Lyft car. We'll go halvesies on the hotel rooms every night.
Yeah, man. Hey, we'll see what it do, man.
Right.
Shoot, freaking fly my girl out. Be like, hey, man, we going for an adventure. I'm gonna show you some things.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be driving. You can meet us in Florida.
Yeah.
Meet us in New York.
Yo, Florida's a good little hub, though. You could fly out to a lot of cool spots from there. I've been to that airport a bit.
I got family down there. I never visited them.
Word.
Last time I saw them, they were in Texas.
Well,
Texas is a cool state too, though.
I know some good folk out in Florida, man.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. But anyway,
that'd be a job I could do as well as just driving people around. I don't give a fuck, you know.
We went a little off topic, but any final thoughts to finish this episode up?
You and I are working on a Charity Miles team, so look out for that, people. I did about 30 miles this week on Charity Miles. Not my best, not my worst.
Are you back on the bike or are you running?
I'm back on the bike. Yeah, I'm not running to and from both my jobs. Biking's hard enough, but the weather's just gotten nicer this week. It's only like 90 degrees at the most so far this week. So it's not like it's 108 anymore, you know? So it's bikeable.
Yeah, man. I was getting the last couple of weeks I was getting a lot of miles, but my legs started getting sore. I actually just took today. I could still go out for a little run today. My legs kind of sore. I think I'm gonna give it one day breather, get back on there. And,
probably smart. We got stretched now too. We're not 18 anymore.
I know, it's weird. I'm like, yo,
like we'll be halfway through a workout. I'm like, fuck, everything hurts so bad, so tight.
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm an old man already, bro. I'm like, what the heck? I gotta stretch. Like before, I would just like be running, walking everywhere. You know?
I know. Just like if I feel like running 3 miles, I just start running 3 miles. You know?
I was like, it went Nazareth to Jerusalem to Bethlehem. You know? Man, those guys had it easy. I walk all over the place. Now I'm like shit, man. Like my ankle aches, my thigh aches, my aches. What's going on, bro?
I got like this pain in my hip that I feel every here and there. Like if I turn in like a funny direction or something, I just feel it out of nowhere, and then it just hurts the rest of the day.
Yeah, I'm gonna title this episode "We Getting Old." No, I don't know, man. Yeah, I need to get back to stretching because, like, really, like when I stretch, that puts everything back in focus. But I can't be none of that whack ass yoga shit. So anyone who's listening who loves yoga, I hope you're really offended right now. Fuck you.
I don't care if it works. I don't care.
Right, and they're at home like laughing at my ass, like, yeah, but my joints are good, nigga. Like, you know,
I don't give a shit. I don't care. It could be the best exercise for you. I don't give a fuck.
Her. Yeah.
Yeah, screw your yoga. We'll find a way around it. We'll find a way.
Yeah. Is there a machine that could just like stretch me out and like pull my joints?
My dad really likes the one that hangs you by your ankles. Like hangs you down by your ankles. That's just hella good.
That sounds kind of kinky.
It can be, but it's really good for your back. Like seriously though, like it'll pop everything in your back if you do it. Or you can get kinky with it, whichever, you know.
Whatever works, right?
Well, that's all I got, man.
That's all I got.
All right. For the rest of it, I guess you guys just gotta figure it out.
Yeah. And we figure that shit out. So,
right.
That's my advice. I hope it helps. Oh, how do I do this? How do I learn this? Figure it out.
Google, motherfuckers. Google.
I honestly think figure it out is like the best advice you can ever give someone in life.
You have all the tools. All you gotta do is figure it out. If you don't figure it out yourself, you're never gonna fucking learn.
All right, sign it off. 2 jokes.